Coega Foundation is an entity owned by the Coega Development Corporation. Its mandate actually is to pursue socio-economic development initiatives that falls within the ambit of the Coega Development Corporation. The Coega Development Foundation is comprised of 3 departments, which is the Skills Development Center, Driver Training, and Maths and Science. We started our own training center in 2012, starting with the construction of workshops, which now, to this point, the organization has invested almost in excess of 100 million on the building and equipment only.
In the skill center, we currently got 11 trades and occupations, which include your bricklaying, plumbing, painting. That is more on the construction side.
I've got 10 females here and I've got 3 males, and I'm not going to say no that the females are excelling in terms of the progress, but you can definitely see that in terms of the aestheticness, which is the appreciation of beauty, you find your females is much more interested in doing stuff like this, which is the artwork and stuff.
Then on the engineering side, we got about 5 trades, which is your boiler making, fitting and turning, electrical, welding, as well as the sheet metal workers.
Recently, we have seen an increased number of women taking engineering trades. For instance, in the previous group, we only had about 10 males and 20 females. That shows that women are getting interested in the trade.
Our uptake in terms of gender is normally 52% female and 48% male, because of the parity that we want to create in terms of empowering the youth.
Zininzi chances as a female welding department because abayithanda abantu and abayi-understand. So ndaqonda, no, this is a great opportunity.
At the end, you'll go for a trade test, then you get a certificate, meaning that you are qualified, you can work wherever you want to, international qualification. So izasinceda kakhulu.
The first group of learners that we started off in 2012, there was about 100 of them. 96% of that group has passed the trade test, and many of them is currently working on the zone in many of the companies that you see on the Coega IDZ.
During any economic difficulty like this one, employers will actually prefer people who can be productive. And productivity is a functionality of skill. So the kind of skills that we offer to our learners, it places them in that category of a sought-after skill. And we don't do training in everything. We select those skills that are priority skills in the economy of the country. We position them very well for the available job opportunities that are there, and we also position them for actually self-employment. I would admit that it's not everyone who is an entrepreneur, but there are some who, once the seed has been planted, they pursue that. So that's why we see our first group yielded 3 of them who went out to do their own thing, and they are doing successfully.
T1 is given to you. T2, you have calculated the T3, you have also calculated over and then we substitute after
the Maths and Science unit here, it was designed by CDC, by the Coega Development Corporation, after the realization that there are a number of young people who finished their grade 12 with not so good results to enable them to access higher education. Mainly not because of the fact that they're not capable, but because they are in schools that do not have the right facilities. It was for that reason that then the CDC decided that it was going to start with a pilot, which is 5 years ago, and bring in a specialist in Maths and Science to actually assist them to upgrade their symbols, their grade 12 symbols in those 2 subjects.
So that maybe by the end of a time period, let's say I don't regret coming here at all because like my marks improved, and I'm glad that I came here because I was discouraged because I wasn't accepted last year at varsity, and so now I have more confidence and I feel more encouraged that I will be next year at varsity.
It is very effective. I have noticed quite some changes in my marks, like drastic changes. So it's quite effective.
I know kids who come here with 30-something% and they go out here with distinctions. And they get to university and they excel there. I know of one of our best students who went on to become the top NMU student from course 1 up until he finished. Yeah, and then he got employed. He's now in a permanent employment in the field of engineering.
Now I'm starting my car first, clutch in.
Young people finish with their degrees, some even their metric and all that stuff. After that, they find that when they go to the world of employment, they are competing with people with the same qualifications, but with a driver's license. And then those with the driver's license now, they have a better opportunity or a better chance of getting the jobs over them because they don't bring that into the market. So then we started with that. They do simulation right from your learners, and then after doing simulation from the learners, they go and do write their learners test, and then when they pass, they come back, and then we put them on a simulated driving for 20 hours. After that, then we put them in the vehicles, which shortens actually the time of getting a driver's license, and also gives a better skill.
Take your blind spot again. Very good.
We used to have satellite offices almost on all the institutions of higher learning, but we've since reduced that because of financial constraints also. There are now clients or people who pay for it. They pay us to take it to their province, like in the Northern Cape. In the Northern Cape, as far as Uppington, we are doing that. We are doing the driver training there. It's quite an expensive exercise because if you look at the cost of fuel, the cost of vehicles, the maintenance of the vehicles and all that, it's not sustainable that you can purely offer it at no cost. But we are mindful of our target group, which is our unemployed young people. We don't make the individual or the beneficiaries to pay themselves. It's a partner who will be funding a program, and then we go and do, and then they say, okay, I want to train this number of young people. Then we go in there and do that for them.
Ndifike level 0 because bendingazi into ngalenazi ndingazi into ngaqhuba moto. Ndafunda lukhulu ngemithetho yendlela, ukuba ngudriver or responsible because ke sifundiswa yonke into apha, so ndifunde lukhulu ngalo.
Now, what we need to intensify is to approach more willing partners and bring in more partners than we have now, so that we can spread this program across the province and beyond. I see this foundation being a catalyst of the development of young people to a very, very great extent.